innovative use of hemp in the sustainable construction industry. As the population of the world grows bigger day by day, the question of habitat, raising concerns among politicians, scientists, and construction industry leaders. The construction sector is the biggest carbon emitter on the planet. The amount of minerals on the planet is finite, and therefore infinite economic growth can only continue through regenerative agriculture. Hemp is a magical agricultural crop that can provide enough biomass to manufacture carbon-negative construction materials and fulfill a market demand. In fact, it's being done right now. CEO at Hempire, from the Ukraine, Sergiy Kovalenkov.
Hello, everyone. Great to see you all. We have plenty of participants and we have plenty to cover today. So I'll be starting my presentation with the following message. You know, we all know of the industrial revolution that took place in the beginning of the previous, in fact, much earlier than the beginning of the previous century. But anyways, the speed at which the human beings started to consume natural resources grew exponentially over the last century. You know, when I was born, the population of the world was around 6 billion people. Now it's 8 billion people. And all of these people need to eat something, wear something, live somewhere, right? So we need more and more materials to cover our needs. And unfortunately, as we grew bigger as the humanity, as the entity, the human beings, we started to isolate the nature completely. And now we are enjoying ourselves in such spots as the Central Park of New York, just to relax a little bit, just to rest and just meditate or get in tune with yourself from the crazy life that we are right now running through. And this is an example of how the buildings are taking place in different countries. And this is my home city, Kyiv, Ukraine. Unfortunately, we see here numerous violations. Some of the apartment buildings, they don't even have, some of the apartments in this building, they don't have a proper access to sunlight, which is a violation of the building codes. But nevertheless, the builders, they are actually care only about the profit. And I don't physically understand how a human being can thrive physically nor mentally in such apartments, right? So if you're looking at the eco standpoint of view, we've completely ignored the nature. And in the books of economics, we always treat the natural resources as we consume them, but we never think about how do we regenerate them and how do we make sure that we are, we as a human species protect them. So this is what we ended up having in this world. We're having a lot of trash. We're leaving a lot of trash behind. And again, the amount of trash being consumed grows exponentially every single day. And now we see animals actually fighting the excavators, which shouldn't be happening at all. And we have birds eating plastic. We have numerous problems with deforestation, but unfortunately, human beings only think about themselves and the profit, and the results, which we actually delegate to resolve to our children, are saddening, right? The root system of one single tree can hold up to 10 liters of water. So therefore, chopping down trees at the top of the hill, resulting in seasonal floods, and the village that sits right at the bottom of that hill suffers a lot. So we need to understand the consequences of what we're doing. And this is the perfect image showing the overshoot the amount of regenerative resources that the nature can provide. So in the 1970s, we were on the par. Nature was able to give us as much as we consume. But now we need, if you look at the right upper right hand corner, now we need 1.7 planets in order for us to have enough. So basically, after August 1st, we're taking the credit line from the planet, and that's from 2016. So we see really bad results, and there is no way stopping it unless we start using it, unless we start using natural regenerative resources. Here, the amount of trash, I don't know if any one of you have ever done renovation or construction. We have seen crazy results, and the amount of mass that is produced from one single construction site, again, it's very sad to see. I'm going to skip this step. So we started to build buildings fast. We started to build buildings economically, but then the quality of materials was always a subpar. As you can see, this is just a result of the mold growing behind your walls. Even though it's nice, beautiful gypsum boards, painted, beautiful house, probably costs a lot of money, but then the quality of air that people are breathing in there, it's detrimental to the health of the tenants. So construction industry is one of the biggest polluters in the world. About 30% of all the emissions on the planet comes from construction emissions. And of course, that results in low quality materials that create all kinds of health issues and massive carbon emissions. In order to produce something, you need to use a lot of energy. So the solution to all of this is, of course, carbon negative hemp houses. And so the difference between the hemp grown for CBD, it's a bushy flower plant. The industrial varieties, industrial varieties hemp, they also are being grown for CBD, but it's a dual type crop. So you can take the top off and bring it to the extractor, and then the bottom of the rest of the stock goes to the processing facility. This is the hemp stalk, the cross-section of the hemp stalk. So as you can see, there is an epidermis, there is a fiber, and what we're interested in is the inner core, the hurd, the particles of hurd that is located in the middle of the hemp stem. So once the stalk is harvested, it's being brought to the special facility. It's called the decortication facility, where they separate the fiber and the hurds. Fiber goes towards textile industry, paper industry, bioplastics, and things like this, and composite materials, where hurds was considered to be a waste before, but now we're successfully using it in the construction industry. So in Hempire, we have developed our own all-natural binder, lime-based binder with no cement or any type of toxic components. And basically what we do, we mix the processed hemp hurds, our fifth element binder, in water during 1 minute in a specially designed mixer. And we produce a porridge-like substance. It looks like oatmeal mixed with flour and water, that sort of stuff. And with this mixture, we can insulate any type of surface, walls, roofs, floors of new and existing buildings. So think about it. You have some type of crop that you grow on the field. You have a facility nearby, which can process this crop, and it becomes one of the biggest source of the construction industry in order to fulfill your walls, insulate your roofs, floors, etc. Next door. So this is just an image how it has been done. So we have, so it takes a minute or two to prepare the mixture. Then we have, for example, a timber frame. It can be a bamboo frame. It can be even a brick wall. It doesn't matter whether it's an existing building or a newly built structure. So basically, we install the temporary formwork around your timber frame. It can be a plywood or OSB, as you can see. And then we start compacting this material in layers of 10 to 15 centimeters. And the beauty about this technology is that we can remove the formwork instantly after we apply the material. And then it starts drying and turning into stone by sequestering carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. It's a beautiful reaction that takes place once you mix lime with water. So basically, here is your timber frame. Here is our formwork installed around our structural members, and we start throwing this material manually and start compacting it very fast. So once you compact the layer, you can throw the next one on top of it, and so there is no technological delay. We remove the formwork, we put it further up, and here we go. So in the end, our timber frame gets fully encapsulated with this material, which is dragging any possible moisture out of your structural frame. So there is no possibility of mold showing up there, or there is no possibility of structural disintegration or collapse. So once you remove the formwork, you can place it upward and start filling up the next layer. So the more people you have on construction site, the faster you can actually build, finish up the building. And it's very, very simple technology. And here we see once we removed all the formworks and we have insulated that structural timber frame on the images shown previously, the carbonation process starts taking place. This is where the CO2 gets sequestered by the material from the atmosphere to make it look like a stone-like structure. So as you can see, there is no thermal bridging. This is all one uniform material, which will get plastered in the end, and the house is ready. So you don't need to use any type of membranes, any type of, because this material is not afraid of moisture. So we are completely eliminating use of toxic materials or some type of plastics. So the beauty about it is you have your timber frame, you have your insulation material, which is act as a wall partition at the same time. You plaster it from the inside, you render it on the outside, and the house is ready. Here we have an examples of roof insulation, floor insulation. We have started to build dome-shaped buildings. We actually became the first company that started to do the hempcrete dome houses. Houses on the trailer. We even did some type of furniture type of setup in one of the cannabis dispensaries in the United States. So you can actually build the furniture out of it. Surprisingly enough, as you can see, there is a countertop made out of hempcrete. Then there are different types of hemp-based plasters that can be applied on the interior. Looks very cool. Looks very natural. People love it. Absolutely fascinated by it. Once we have applied our plaster on inside one of our friends' offices here in Ukraine, and I've never seen so many people come into the office and start touching the wall. Because if it's just a traditional brick wall or like a gypsum board painted with some type of paint over it, it doesn't excite people. But when they start seeing this natural shape and texture, they absolutely fall in love with it. So here I'm just going to show you different types of buildings that we have completed, just to show you that this technology already exists. People have been using it. There is quite an experienced group developed around the world that's starting to use this technology. I got introduced to hempcrete about 11 years ago, and it completely changed my life. Now we actually consult and help people build in different countries. The possibly next project is going to be in Hawaii for me next year. United States, of course. So here, as you can see, right, so we see a stone house being insulated from inside, floor insulation. The thickness of the insulation will always be dictated by the thermal codes of different countries. One thing is building in Florida or Thailand, the other thing is building in the northern part of Canada, right? So the thickness that we use in Ukraine is between 30 to 40 centimeters, depending on the use of the building. So here you see there is no problem of constructing big houses. So it's not just some type of mud huts that people are used to see. There are modern type of buildings that are currently already occupied by our clients. All the projects, by the way, that you see, it's our own projects in Hempire. So these are all real houses not just some render Pinterest type of photographs. Round houses, stone houses. Some of the clients request all natural type of approach. They say, our children have some special allergies on plastics or something, or like cement, and sometimes we have to sign a waiver guaranteeing that we're not using any toxic components inside our formulations. So as you can see, the dome houses, they can be finished completely with style, with timber shingles. Here it's just a regular house. It's extremely energy efficient houses, by the way. Dome houses it's a new trend all around the world. It's absolute beauty. Here I'll show you right now how this house looks like right now. As you can see, the dogs enjoy it too, beside the fireplace. Here is the seminar in Poland that we've been running with the local hemp group. As you can see, no one can tell the difference. No one can tell that this type of house is built out of hempcrete and cannabis plant. So as you can see, our sample has been sitting fully exposed to the snow and sun for the last 6 years, and nothing has happened to it. We have insulated concrete inside during winter time, and now it's a beautiful yoga studio where people just enjoy themselves. Everything is covered with hempcrete floors, ceiling inside. As you can see, all the engineers, all the architects told us all this material is going to rot, and there is going to be a dew point condensation somewhere in between concrete and hempcrete. It's hard as a rock right now, 6 years in succession. Modern type of shapes with timber cladding, dome houses, as I told you. But most importantly, I want to show you that some of our clients build houses themselves. They purchase materials from us. We teach them how to do it. We'll let them rent a mixer from us. And this particular project has been executed by clients. This is one of the outstanding projects that we got famous for. This is a real house with the person who has built this house. He's now our partner in helping us building these houses. This is a Mont Blanc chalet, a very beautiful project in the mountains in France that we helped build. This is a house on wheels. But this is all very cool type of structures. But what is the point here? The most important thing is the advantages of hempcrete. As you can see on this diagram, the relative humidity outside the house is represented by the green line, and the blue line is the humidity inside the house. This test was taken in England, and as you can see, hempcrete's ability to negate these fluctuations, these extreme fluctuations of relative humidity outside the building, and that's what's creating the uncomfortable conditions. It's the actual humidity inside the house, if the air is too dry or too wet. So hempcrete has been doing this, creating a perfect environment from 50 to 60% relative humidity. The same thing's happening with temperature. As you can see, the dark red line represents the temperature outside the house, day and night throughout like 10 days. And the same is happening inside. So it's extremely energy efficient material due to the fact that it's very porous. This is an image of hempcrete under microscope. And due to its porosity, it's able to attract humid water vapor and then release it later on back into the atmosphere. Here, as you can see, the optimum zone. This is actually essential for the health care and the health benefits of the people living inside such houses. As you can see, bacteria, virus, fungi, respiratory infections, they all happen in either in too wet environment or too dry. So the optimum zone created by hempcrete is cool. We have organized first ever, I don't know, maybe in the world even, first ever workshop for children. This is 7-8-year-old children learn how to do it. And they were very, very happy and excited about it. The material doesn't burn, it doesn't rot. As you can see, it didn't crack over winter time. So it's extremely durable material that can last for many, many years. It has a very good thermal insulation values. It has great acoustics. It also is very good to sustain different seismic activities. And very important slide here, as you can see at 5.8, this is a pH scale. At 5.8, cancer cells begin to form. And we're using 12.4 pH lime. So it's extremely alkaline material. And the most important thing is it is a carbon negative material, since 1 hectare of industrial hemp can sequester of up to 10 tons of carbon dioxide during 4-month period growth. So in the end, we have a material that sequesters more carbon than it emits. If you can see, in comparison to traditional insulation materials, it has a huge carbon sequestration benefit. Of course, there are some type of weaknesses, cost, labor demanding job, and lack of material, and skepticism from the construction industry. But we see that people are showing more and more interest in these technologies. We have won some awards on the international scale. This became a purpose of my life, and now we are educating other people. And now we are ready to set up different hemp processing facilities where we will be producing blocks and panels. If you're looking for an investment project, please contact me, because we are right now in communication with different countries where we're going to be setting up this multifunctional hemp processing facilities, which would be able to supply the market with consumer end goods. Here is my contact information. If you have any questions regarding the products, if you have any questions regarding the properties of this fascinating material, please let me know, and we'll be here to help you. Thank you very much for your attention. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you, everyone, for giving me an opportunity to speak. Talk to you later.